Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hello, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing for lots more diamond painting content. And if you are back, as always, welcome back. Today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. If you are new and aren't sure what that means, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat just means that we're going to spend some time today catching up and chatting about diamond painting and life and whatnot. So feel free to pull out a project to work alongside of me. I'm going to be working on one of my current diamond painting WIPs. It is called A Mermaid's Bath. Here's the original artwork there. This is by the artist Tosha-san and is from the shop Jaded Gem Shop. And I'm doing two versions of this kit for a comparison, and this is the version that is pixel charted or has more hand charting and is 60 by 90 centimeters. The section we're going to be working on today is, so I'm in the third row here, and it's right in here. It's kind of this part of the bathtub. There you can kind of see the towel that's hanging down. I have it sideways, so oriented this way. So that's what I'll be working on today. As far as accessories go, which by the way, I'll have this kit, the comparison playlist, and all of these accessories linked below. But I have this pen, which is from Madwood Turning, and I featured in a recent small shop haul. It's got a pink dragon in it that I love. And then I have this cover minder, which is from Galloway's Gallery, and I just thought kind of went with the pen. And then this Wee Wax is in the scent Vanilla Coconut, and I shared that in a recent small shop haul. This putty is from Diamond Painting Putty by Kat. And while this wasn't in a recent small shop haul, I was going through my putty trying to find one I hadn't used in a while, and I haven't worked with this putty from this shop in quite a while, so I'm going to be using that today. And then the tray, I have to say I'm probably most excited about because this tray is from brand new to me Diamond Painting Company, which is Print Sable. Print O Sable. I need to double check the pronunciation of that, but I did find out what that actually, where the name came from, and I was a little bit embarrassed. I was pronouncing it like it was one word, like Aussible or something, and it turns out that no, it's named after the O Sable or Au Sable. It's a river, I believe, or a pond. It's a body of water in Michigan, and so I just feel really silly, but that's where the name came from. Here's their logo, and this is in the jumbo size. This kit has a lot of color blocking in it, so I wanted to be able to multi-place well. And excuse me for yawning, you guys. This is the third video I'm filming this evening, so I think I'm just a little sleepy, but I'm perking up since I'm getting to hang out with you guys now. But it has kind of the sliding stopper here on the end so you can slide out, and hopefully this will work well for multi-placing. I love trying out new shops in my WIP and Chats, and I'm really going to try to make sure I remember to share what my thoughts are after working with this tray during this WIP and Chat. So okay, I'm just going to set the lid to the side, but it worked. It was great. It was a little stiff in there, but really not bad. So let me see. I have my metal multi-placer. I don't know if I'm gonna need extra washi tape to help it be sturdy. Maybe just a little bit. I mention this every time because I never know when someone's gonna be new. But if your multi-placer is a bit loose in your diamond painting pen, you can wrap just a little bit of washi tape around the end, and that gives it a little bit more and helps it, gives a little bit more to it, and then helps it kind of stay in there more securely. So, okay, ow, that something on there was got a little bit of color on my fingers there. Okay, let me load up my pen and we can get started. So, hi, how are you doing today? I hope that your week is off to a great start. This video is going to be going up on Memorial Day, which is a holiday in the US. And if you are observing or if you have lost a loved one that has made that sacrifice, I just want to say thank you and send all of my love and appreciation your way. My heart hurts for you, and I just wanted to say thank you. So I know for some, other of my viewers, they aren't in the States and it's not necessarily a holiday for you guys, but yeah, the kids are off school. Adam's off work for Memorial Day, and I think I need a little bit more. Hold on. We don't really have any big plans. Adam mentioned potentially taking the kids to the beach, but I just think it's going to be incredibly busy. And I don't know if that would necessarily be like everyone's idea of a really fun time, or if we just get a little tired sitting in traffic and trying to find a spot to camp out, but that's okay. I have a lot to get done, so it'd be just as well if I could have the day to continue to get even more done as I'm getting ready for a lot that's going to be going on this upcoming week. But as far as this kit goes and what my feelings are on it so far, well, I'm not halfway done with it yet, but the halfway point is not far. It's really not. Once I finish this third row, I'll only be half a row away from the halfway point because I divided each of these canvases into 7 rows. And I am planning to, and you can blame my Patreon for this because I asked for their opinion in a live stream I did with them today. I was like, okay, you guys, I'm coming up on finishing this third row. If you look at the original artwork, this third row goes right up to like about this gold line on the bathtub. So the next row would include, the cat's head, all these bottles, and the mermaid's face. And I know it's probably what most people are interested in seeing. And I had a realization where I thought, should I do the same thing with this piece as I did on Spirit of Flight, which is to be really, really mean and tease you guys and save the row like with the big focal point of the piece, which in Spirit of Flight was also like that spirit's that face, the column with that face. It's the same thing in this one. And so after I finish this row, I'm going to hop up to the top and start at the top and work my way down. So the last row we do on each kit is going to be this one. So like I said, you gotta blame my Patreon for that one. Take it up with them. But no, I think that'll be fun. It'll actually, I don't really even think of it as teasing you guys so much as actual good motivation for me. Like it'll give me like something to push for towards the end, because I don't know about you guys, when you work on a diamond painting, do you set out to save the part of the kit that you're most looking forward to for last, or do you like work on it first? Do you work on it in the middle to give yourself a boost? I'm curious to hear what your approach is to that. It depends on the kit for me. Sometimes if I'm anticipating that there's something about it that's going to be a little bit dull for some reason, then that's a dryer sheet, by the way. Oops, dropped that right on the canvas. I may go ahead and save the most interesting part for last, just to help motivate myself. Okay, let me try that again. First shake in a new tray. Okay, so it's lining up decently well. I'm seeing some drills are kind of going to the end and wanting to like drop down to the side, so I'm not gonna hit it so they go all the way to the end. That's trash. I'm gonna pull that out. This company did request that if I had feedback for them, they'd love to hear it. So I'm gonna try to see if I have any constructive thoughts to share with them. I'm really picky with my drills, and sometimes I'll go through and I'll pick out any that I think look not so perfect. And Jada Gem Shop gives so much extra that I never feel like I'm actually in danger of running out of any colors. But yeah, so I'm still really thoroughly enjoying this comparison project. It's been really, really fun. And I've taken pictures along the way of the kits side by side as I've completed each row. I had thought that I might have a kind of check-in at this point already for you guys, like a video, but I have just honestly been so jam-packed and just squeezing in, some diamond painting wherever I can that I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm sorry. But I am thinking that I should finish this. I got a little bit of overspill with that wax. I'm trying to rub it off and it doesn't want to come off. Oh my goodness. Let me grab my tweezers. You're getting just a very like Katie having a hard time with the things right now, and I'm leaving it in as always. I am thinking that I will finish this row tonight or tomorrow, and then tomorrow night go ahead and film a check-in and show you how these kits look side by side with 3 rows each done. We can talk through some of the differences, and I'll share my initial kind of impressions, and you guys can tell me what you're thinking of it as well. So, by the way, I'm kind of keeping an eye on it, but I am playing around with the focus settings on my phone to give you maybe a more consistent experience as far as the focus goes. I've had a couple people point out, and I've noticed this before myself, but I hadn't really found a good fix for it. But some people mentioning that it can be very distracting when I'm kind of every time my hand would come in frame with the pen, that my camera would autofocus on that, and it would go back and forth between focusing on my pen and focusing on the canvas, and it was kind of a lot. So I'm hoping that it looks like it is staying set with focus on the canvas, but I'm always welcome to your feedback. Let me know if it's bothering you guys or if you're liking it better if you're watching. When I'm watching a WIP and Chat, I tend to treat it like a podcast and virtually never look at the screen unless the crafter draws my attention to something on the screen and I'm like, oh wait, what are they trying to show me? But I totally understand that some people actually do really enjoy watching someone diamond paint and put drills on a canvas. So I want to make it enjoyable and relaxing for everyone that's watching. But yes, so I've already completed the first 3 rows on the other version of this kit, which is more confetti heavy. It's the classic or hybrid charting. And the differences between these 2 kits are pretty striking, and I am so excited to get to share them with you guys. I think you're gonna love it. I think you're really gonna love it, and I have a guess what I think most people are going to prefer, but I definitely think there are going to be many of you that prefer the others still. I think it's going to be very much personal taste, so I'm going to really try to present it that way, try to be neutral and kind of let it be up to you guys and not let my own personal opinions sway you too badly, but you'll probably be able to tell which I'm personally gravitating towards of the 2. But yeah, and I'm starting to think a little bit ahead to, okay, what do I think I'm going to work on next, even though I'm not even halfway done with these kits yet. But I have a lot going on this week. In particular, I am going to a diamond painting retreat, and I leave on Wednesday morning. So yeah, just a couple of days from when this WIP and Chat is going up, I'm leaving. I'm leaving on a jet plane. And I am leaning towards not trying to take these comparison projects with me. It would just be a lot to pack up. So I might not transport these with me. But I have a couple other kits I'm eyeing. I'll probably take at least a paint gem set with me on the airplane if I feel like diamond painting on the airplane, because I will be kid free, and maybe I'll be able to convert some people around me and turn them into diamond painters, which I managed to do last time. It was great. So I'll probably take a paint gem set with me on the plane. I need to decide which one I want to do. And as far as what kit I might take with to work on, I don't know. It would be fun to take both kits with me. And I'm flying Southwest, so I get 2 free checked bags. I don't know, but I'm going to need room in my suitcase for things to bring home because, well, I'm part of the planning committee for the retreat. And so I know some of the things that we're, going to get home in the swag bags and stuff. And so I know I need room, but I don't know. I need to get it together, you guys. I still need to book my rental car, and I need to make my packing list. And this is just sometimes how I handle things when I'm stressed, is I procrastinate hard. Yeah, and then it all comes together. But it's been an extremely, extremely busy and very productive week. The past week in particular, but the whole month it feels like has been very, very, very busy in very good ways. But I just have had to take things as they've come, as far as I have to handle the time sensitive stuff first, and I'll get to the other stuff when I can. And now here I am a couple of days away from the retreat, and I need to pack and prep and all the things. So it's the retreat is the Crafter's Paradise Retreat. It is completely full. It filled up really quickly after registration went live, almost a year ago now, unfortunately. The person that said it, that came up with the idea and really has spearheaded it from the beginning is Shay, Crafting with Shay on YouTube. And she had announced it, and registration and stuff went up on her channel and during one of her lives, and it sold really quickly. But you guys, there's a Facebook group called Diamond Painting Retreats that has gotten really active and robust, and I'll try to remember to link it below. I've mentioned it in a couple of videos, I think, now. But that's a really good resource. I'm seeing a lot of people that are going in there and sharing about, like, hey, I live in this area. Does anyone want to, try to help me plan a get-together or a retreat of some sort? So I'd recommend that resource if you're looking to see if there is something in your area, and or if you're looking to maybe consider, trying to plan one. That can be a good place to start, because I know that I've gotten that question a lot, so I wanted to offer up that resource at least. But yeah, I've never been to a diamond painting retreat before. I don't totally know what to expect, but I'm excited to get to go and just diamond paint with a bunch of other crafters, and I have no idea if I will get any sleep. I hope I will. I'm gonna bring headphones so that I can, because I'm used to sleeping with a white noise machine, and but we have roommates, and so I don't know if they're gonna want to deal with white noise, so I'm gonna bring my headphones so I can listen to. I have an app on my phone that I can do white noise with, but yeah, it'll be fun. I'm an introvert, so we'll see. I joked when we were planning it, but I said, I feel like we need to have a room where no talking is allowed, so the introverts can go if they just need a break from all of the chatter and just want to be able to craft in quiet or something like that. And everyone laughed. The other planning committee gals laughed. I'm like, but no, that actually could be really nice. But it'll be fine. I just don't think there's quite space for it. But I don't know. Have you guys been to a diamond painting retreat before? Have you wanted to go to one, or is it not really your thing? I'm trying to figure out what I want to take with me. I might take an old masters kit, because Summer with the Masters is actually going to be kicking off. June 1st is happening while I'm at that retreat. I think it was that Saturday. And so I want to have an old master's kit with me that I could start that day. Not that it has to be a new start, but I thought that would be fun to have one there with me. And so I'm thinking of starting with the kit, The Great Wave, and it's a Diamond Dots at Home version. I think I might start with that one. It's a little bit smaller compared to a lot of other old masters. So I might take that one and start with that one. My cat decided now's a great time to come and eat. Always, every time. They wait till I start filming. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to start with. I have a custom on order from Jaded Gem Shop, and I just placed an order with Diamond Artisan Shop for these a really cute mini old masters kit. They're so cute, and I love the idea of having some smaller options. And so I have that on the way, but it's not here yet. So I'm like, what do I have that I could see myself working on at a retreat? And I just have no idea how much actual diamond painting I'll be doing and how much I'll just be chatting and helping with making things happen as part of being on the committee. So we'll see. I'm gonna go into it with very chill expectations and hope that I just enjoy getting to spend time with friends and new friends, and a little a little self-care break in a way. I adore my kiddos. I absolutely love them. But I also know that it's good for my own mental health to have breaks where I get to just kind of go and enjoy doing things that are outside of my identity, as a mom, because I am a stay-at-home mom, and I guess a diamond painter sort of by trade, and having this channel, which I'm so beyond thankful for, because I can really do all of this around my kids and their needs and their schedules, which can sometimes be a lot since they do have some special needs. And so, yeah. But anyway, I still sometimes, like, I always am afraid to say this because I'm afraid it's going to sound like, oh, I don't like my kids, or I don't love my kids, or I don't want to be around my kids. And that's just simply not the case. It's just that, like, everyone needs, like, a little break to just sort of rejuvenate and rest. And in spite of the fact that I think this is going to be really busy and very social and everything, I think it'll still be a good break in a way. I'm hoping. So anyway, even just like traveling solo is going to be a bit of a novelty. I'm going to fly by myself and just not be worrying about chasing after little ones. But I'll miss them a lot. I'll have to FaceTime with them and talk with them, and yeah, I'll miss them. My husband is going to be obviously, like, I don't want to say like watching them because he's not a babysitter. Like, he's their dad and we parent together, like we share the load. But like, he works full time. And so sometimes how that looks, you know, it can just be sort of like, I do more with the kids by nature. And I'm a little bit nervous. He's an amazing dad and he's so good with them, but I'm going to be gone for 5 days. I leave Wednesday morning and I get back Sunday night. That's just a lot. That's a long time to fly solo. If I had to fly solo for that long, I would probably be feeling pretty tired and ready to catch my breath too. So I think he might have his parents come up and tag team with him one day over the weekend. The kids will be in school, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so he'll be able to work and whatnot without having that too interrupted, thankfully. And he can take a day off if it is a bit much, but I think it'll all work out. But there's still a little bit of, I'm a tiny bit of a control freak, and so he's been fine. Like, I went to a supernatural convention for several days not that long ago. It'll be completely fine. I'm saying this more to myself than I'm saying to you guys. It's all going to be fine. Relax. Enjoy yourself. But I also just miss my kids. So anyway, I know that there will be, like, they don't want people doing like video and stuff in the main crafting area, but they had said, like, oh, if people want to, I think we're allowing like live streams if people want to from like the lobby. So I don't know that I'm necessarily gonna be doing a live stream, but I would keep an eye out. There's gonna be some other creators there that may do one, like Kara, who's the principal painter, Alyssa's the diamond painting accountant, Shay is crafting with Shay, Bev is Bev B Diamond Paints, Veronica is Sapphires and Ocean Waves, and I know there's some people that I'm forgetting, and I'm so freaking sorry. Jade from Jada Gem Shop's gonna be there. Man, there's other gals. Shoot. I'm sorry. I'm forgetting other people, but keep an eye out if you're interested in, like, you know, fun live streams and stuff. So, yeah. Retreat thoughts. I need to make my packing list. I did make a schedule of videos that I want to go up while I'm gone, because I really want to try not to have, I did this kind of upside down. Let me do this a different way. I actually love for my regular kind of scheduled content to not be interrupted at all. Part of it is for you guys, part of it is just for my own rhythm, and part of it is because to be frank, this platform's algorithm can be very, what's the word I want to look, how do I want to put this? Strict, I guess. Like, if you really get too far out of your usual sort of patterns and posting, it can be kind of crippling. So to be completely frank with you, that is part of my motivation to still have videos going up as usual. But I've tried to be really smart about it. I actually sat down and I mapped out, okay, here are the days I want videos to go up. Here's the different topics I can do. And I planned out, I was like, okay, I'm going to film 3 videos this evening and 2 videos tomorrow night. And then I should be all set. I should be good. Everything should be squared away at that point. So I'm in good shape that way. It helped to sit down and map it all out and be able to look at it and go, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do and exactly what I need to film. And it'll just be like a normal week, and I can just have everything uploaded and scheduled. And that way, you guys will have things to watch too. So Summer with the Masters, I'll have a kickoff video for you guys on Saturday. I was just talking with my co-host, who is Anthony from Single and Placing, and we're really looking forward to kicking off the event with you guys. If you're interested to hear more about what this event is and all the details for how to participate, we did do an announcement video like a month and a half ago that kind of went through all those details. But basically, there's no new starts and no finishes required. We're making it a very, very laid back and relaxed event that it's easy to jump in on and carry over projects that you may have worked on in previous years even. But it encompasses artwork that is from before the current copyright year, which I believe this year it's from before the year 1928. And so, the ones that you might typically think of that are kind of the obvious options are ones like Van Gogh or Monet or something like that. And typically, if you Google the artist's name and the title of the artwork, the first thing that'll pop up will be the creation date of that piece. So you'll know what year it was created and if it is eligible. And you can do a custom or do like a prepackaged kit, which when we started this event a few years ago, very, very, very few companies offered prepackaged kits, like ones where you just go on the website, like Diamond Dots has Starry Night by Van Gogh or something like that. It was like less than 5 companies had those options, and now there's a ton, and so that can make it easy to shop, and it's a little bit less work on your part. But you can also order a custom completely ethically, because kits from this time period are part of the public domain 99% of the time. So you can get a custom of that artwork ethically. So there's lots of options, and it's going to go for 2 months. So if you hadn't heard of it and you're thinking, oh, that sounds like something I would like to participate in, there is definitely still time to join in. You can join in anytime. We're going to have videos every other week where we do weekly every other week. And so there will be 2 each month, and in each of those videos we'll have giveaways, and then we'll have some grand prizes to give away as well. So that's kicking off on Saturday. I don't know where the time went that it's already time for Summer with the Masters, but I hope that kind of the more laid back vibe this year is going to feel just very relaxing and very apt for summer and summer weather. But yeah, so I'm going to film that the kickoff video, not the announcement video, the kickoff video tomorrow, and have that for you guys on Saturday. So lots going on. I feel like lots of really fun and wonderful things, and excited. Are you guys planning on joining in on Summer with the Masters or any other events that are going on in June or this summer? I know June there will be a lot of like Pride. There might be some Pride themed events going on. I think Chris Kalasa usually hosts a Pride event in June. I actually filmed an unboxing tonight for a kit that would fit that theme, and so that'll go up later this week. But yeah, there's always fun events and whatnot going on. And before I know it, I'm going to have to start thinking about drills and chills. It's almost about that time. I feel like when Summer with the Masters starts, and it's like, okay, is that ball rolling? Okay, start putting your brain on this other thing now. So stay tuned for that if you're curious to hear more about that. But yes, it is happening again this year. So yeah, I have a few kits in mind I'm thinking of working on for Summer with the Masters, and hopefully a nice variety from some different companies. And I'm looking, like, they have a couple of kits from small shops I didn't quite get to working on last year that I wonder if I can fit in this year. It'll just depend on if I feel like I can tackle, a bigger confetti heavy project, especially while I've got this comparison project going, which I'm not going to quite be to the halfway point of once Summer with the Masters starts. But that's okay. I'm just going to keep taking it at its own pace and not rushing it, just focusing on enjoying the craft and being continuing to remind myself to be okay with the pace that I'm going at, and knowing that just for the phase of life that I'm in at the moment, I just simply cannot diamond paint as much or as quickly, as far as completing kits goes, as quickly as I have in past years, and that's okay. That is all right. And again, saying this to myself as much as I am to you guys, because it's hard not to sometimes get in my own head about it. Like, you used to complete kits a lot faster. What are you doing? But then reminding myself the same thing that I preach to all of you regularly, which is that it's not a race. It's okay. Like, whatever pace you go at is fine as long as you're enjoying it and it's working for you. And it is. It really is. So, okay, so first impressions of this tray so far. I do like it. I'm finding when I go to shake the drills out, I'm having a little bit of a learning curve myself. And I need to not tilt the tray too much, or the drills go kind of flying out because of how that is. But it's a good, I still like the opening, but it's like an internal spout, so it's just a little bit of a learning curve. I think I might prefer if the lines on one end went all the way to the end, because here, let me grab the next color and I'll show you what I'm seeing happen. But you know, I haven't seen other tray companies do this, so it's nice to have differences and options out there. So I don't know that I necessarily want to suggest they change this or not. Okay, so typically when I fill up a tray, when I'm trying to like kind of set my, I poured a lot of this color in here. I did not need this much. I'll still be able to demo it, I think. Okay, so what I do is I do this kind of initial shake and pour, and then what I do is I tap, tap, tap this way. This is not a good example because I poured so many diamonds in to help line up the diamonds for me to multi-place. But what I'm noticing, it is kind of happening here, is that diamonds are going off the end and then continuing and then falling down and then continuing to go over and off the end and falling down. But when there's a lot in here like this, it stopped them. So maybe not the best example, but that's kind of the one thing I've noticed so far. But that is just kind of a habit of how I shake my tray, and maybe not necessarily like representative of an actual problem, because again, like that could actually be something that people enjoy, but otherwise the diamonds are lining up great. I'm just picking out the little trash bits. Okay, but yeah, I just wanted to share a little my thoughts on it partway through this WIP and Chat, because I was afraid I'd forget all the way at the end. Look at all this color blocking I get to do in here. This is so nice. I'm finding that the pace that I'm completing the pixel charted kit is it's at least 3 times as fast as the classic or hybrid charting. I am going to pick a section at some point here and time it both ways, like try to have all the factors be the same, but time it to see how long each section does actually take me to complete. I love numbers. I love being able to point to concrete numbers and go, you know, this is as close to the scientific method, you know, control as possible. Here's, you know, what this batch of data is telling me. There's a tiny bit of gapping if I push these all too close together. And light color drills show gapping so easily. Oh my gosh. Okay, so other than diamond painting things, my goodness, has this week been so incredibly productive. Holy cow. So my parents were in town. They left a couple days ago, and they're now in Colorado to see the Cleveland Guardians play there. And they're going to head back to their place in Ohio. But we had such a good visit, and definitely one of the most, like the busiest and most productive visits that I've had with them in quite a while. So I shared with you guys last week about how we did Great Wolf Lodge for my oldest's birthday and did a couple of days there, and it was so much fun. And then I'm forgetting what we did on Monday and Tuesday, but we did things and we're busy both of those days. And then Wednesday, I bought a car. And this is not a spontaneous thing. Like in a little bit of a way it was. But it was also a very, very, very long time coming. I can't remember if I talked about this in last week's WIP and Chat. You'll have to forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but I guess the context is important. But we went to a park last Sunday, like a week ago, to meet up with Adam's family for Connor's birthday, do a little birthday celebration there, and we had to take back roads to get to this park, okay? And there were a lot of like steep inclines to get there. And my old car, which the engine has been about to die on for some time, and there's not really anything they could do to fix it. And so I was just, I know you guys, you can yell at me. It really wasn't the best situation, but it was like, I mostly just do some around town driving because again, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so it's not like I'm doing distance driving. But I was driving the 20 minutes to this park on back roads and going on these inclines, and my engine was so not having it. And it would sometimes want to flash my check engine light at me. So that spooked me. That really, really spooked me. It lit a fire, and I was like, I really have to look into getting a new car, new to me car, because we buy used. that's my budget. But so I was really spooked. So I spent Monday and Tuesday, when I had time, doing a bunch of research and, looking at consumer reports and various ratings on cars to narrow down, like, okay, what do I think I want? What is in our price range? What's out there? Like, do some research to see what's actually available for sale. Spent several hours doing that and narrowed it down to several cars. And then basically Wednesday morning, woke up and was like, okay, let's do some car shopping. So I stopped by the bank, had a conversation with them, and or a credit union, technically. I love our credit union. And then I had, half dozen cars on my list to potentially go and test drive. So we went to a few different places. The first place we went in the first car I test drove, I probably could have gone with, but there were a couple of things about it that I went, if we, can we get just a little bit more car if we spend just a little bit more? We wanted to make a really, really, really smart and carefully considered decision about this, because we keep our cars for a long time. Like my old car I had for almost 10 years. And yeah, we want just reliable cars that we can drive for a long time. And so I decided, let me test drive a couple more and just see. And so we went to a couple other places. The second place we went was a complete bust. It had a car that looked really good on the website. We got there and I was interested to test drive it, and it was kind of more of a hole in the wall than I realized. The name had led me to believe that it was like a dealership, but it was just kind of a little used car lot, which is fine. We've bought from those before. This one I just got a weird vibe from, and then when I opened up the car door to take a look at it, the seats were covered in white dog hair, and there was trash like in the dash, or like in the elbow console and cup holders. I just thought this, but on the sticker it says that you're charging a cleaning fee, like a fee for cleaning this car. It looks like it hasn't been touched since it was turned in. I'm so confused. And they were so flippant about it that I was just kind of like, okay, well, thank you. There were some other red flags too. I wasn't trying to be like snooty whatsoever. There were other red flags, and I was like, okay, this is not the place. So we're walking away from that. We driven all the way up to LA though for this one, and I thought, are there any other places up here? Let me look at my list and see where else we can go and see. And this, it might not be too far since we drove all the way up here. And so next place we went, as soon as we drove in, I got a much better sort of feeling about it and had a really, really positive experience from the moment we kind of pulled in. And basically as soon as I saw this car, I had to put on my poker face because I immediately thought, oh, I like this car a lot. I really, really like it a lot, but I really don't want to show my hand because I don't want to lose 100% of my negotiating power here. Even though it's kind of like, a lot of these used cars, you're not going to get much room to negotiate because they're going to sell. There's, such high demand for these kinds of cars, I guess, used cars and whatnot. So, but even still, I took it for a test drive. I absolutely loved it, and it helped. My parents came along. I don't know if I said that. My parents came along. Adam had to work, and I just didn't personally feel super comfortable about doing all this by myself. I just felt really out of my depth. And so I thought, yeah, like I trust my parents' opinions of things. They have really level heads, and I knew they would notice things that I didn't. They've bought a number of cars before, so I'm like, they have the experience. Why wouldn't I take advantage of their experience? And they were really happy to be able to come along and help. And it put my mind so much at ease to not feel like I was just doing this completely on my own and making myself a really easy target to be taken advantage of. And so, long story short, that's the car that I ended up getting, and I'm really happy with it. It's a 20, like, this isn't doxing anything about myself, right? No. It's the 2015 Honda CR-V, and I had looked at minivans, and ultimately I decided that just wasn't really the quite right fit for our family and for, like, this space that we have in our garage. And I thought, well, like, this is still going to give us a little bit more room than we have in my current car. And I think this is the smart decision for us for a number of reasons. So yeah, and I was able to trade in my old car. I was honestly shocked. I was afraid that they were just going to be like, I mean, we can take it off your hands, but we're not going to give you anything for it. And they gave me like just a little bit for it. They made a comment when they were asking about it, because they'd gone out and I think done a little test drive of it. Sorry to hit the camera there. They're like, so how's the engine on that car? And I was like, well, I mean, you drove it. It's old. And I wasn't going to try to be deceptive at all. Like, that's not right. But I then had to go out and clean out my car, which I had the foresight to mostly clean out the night before, and I vacuumed it and got most of the stuff in there out. But there were a few things that were still in there, like chargers and whatnot. And so it was time for me to go and clean out that car. And look, this car has been the bane of my existence for the past 6 months to a year. It's been a source of so much stress, where I feel like I was constantly looking at the dash to see if the check engine light was going to start flashing at me, and being paranoid about that and worrying about if is the engine going to die? Is the acceleration going to act up for me? Like, it was a lot. But even still, when I went to go clean out that car and basically like say goodbye to that car, would you believe that I started crying? And I was like, why am I crying? This is so silly. And then I realized, because this car has seen nearly 10 years of like life. I brought both, oh my gosh, I'm like literally getting teary right now. It's so silly. I brought both my babies home from the hospital in that car when they were born. Like, it's seen so much life. I bought that car when I was pregnant with my oldest. So I don't know, like it was emotional to say goodbye to, but I am such a sap. I have a hard time letting go of things, and I develop these really, really strong attachments to things. Like, my parents are looking at potentially selling their house here in a couple of years, which is the house I grew up in. And like, I'm going to be a complete wreck whenever they decide to do that, even though I haven't lived there in forever. It's just, I'm very, 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 very sentimental. So anyway, it wasn't probably as hard as it could have been to say goodbye to that car, though, given how much gray hair it gave me. And I'm just completely not taking for granted the ability to like drive a car and not be worried about there being problems, There are a lot of other really little things too that I won't bother getting into because it's a little bit dull, but I'm feeling so thankful and not taking a single bit of it for granted that I have this functional, safe car to drive now. And Micah, my youngest, is so enamored with it. It's adorable. He constantly wants to be going out and sitting in it. He'll just sit in his like booster seat. And what he does, so he saw me reading the manual for it, because yes, I was sitting down, I was reading the manual because I wanted to just understand. all of the things that were different and new to me about this car, which was quite a lot because I went from a 2005 with 0 bells and whistles, and it had a cassette deck. Yes, a cassette deck, to a car that is like, has some like bit of like Bluetooth enabled and has like a couple other things. And I'm like, oh, I'm living in the future. The whole future of 2015. So anyway, I was reading the manual. Micah was intrigued to see me reading the manual, and he wanted to take a look, and now he's really, really, really into reading this car manual. And he will sit in his seat in the car, and he'll have the manual open, and he'll like look down and he'll read something in it, and I'll see him kind of crane his neck to look at the car, and he'll be like, instrument panel or something. It's really adorable. It's really cute. So I don't know, I might have a budding mechanic on my hands here. But yeah, everyone's thankful for a reliable set of wheels now. I mean, Adam has one too, but you know, I'm the one that kind of totes the kids around during the day or runs errands myself during the day and stuff. So big sigh of relief. That and my kitchen situation have been my biggest stressors for over a year now. And now that both of those things are taken care of, I feel like I can breathe. Yeah, just I can breathe so much easier. It's I cannot even begin to describe to you the weight that is off of my shoulders, and how much it's helped my mental health. It's incredible. I'm so thankful. I'm just so thankful. Anyway, so yes, I have a new car, new to me car. Finally. So I wonder if you guys might be happy to hear me stop talking about woe is me with my old car. I know I will be. That's for sure. Let me see a little bit of trash. See if I can pop this out and not put it. Oh, where'd it go? It went back in there. Okay. Other things that are going on. Summer's around the corner. My kids have another couple weeks of school here. And yeah, I'm ready. Oh, shoot. I missed a whole strip of that one color. I've been really good about not doing that lately. That's okay. Yeah, so summer's around the corner. My youngest will be doing summer school for a few weeks in the summer. And I was just texting with a swim instructor for Connor to take swim lessons. I want to get both kids in swim lessons, but Connor is a little bit, I think that one's a little bit more dire than my youngest. Dire, that's not of, I don't mean it that exaggerated. No, I think that one's a little bit more urgent than Micah's. So, I think I'm about squared away to have that set up for him to do swim lessons while Micah's in summer school. I think that'll be the easiest way to do it. And then we're thinking about, like, are there any kind of little, just really small mini family vacations we might want to do this year? Nothing super extravagant, but like last summer, Adam was out of work. And so we were definitely not doing, anything extra. But this year it's like, well, maybe we take the kids to like Legoland one day, or maybe to Universal where they've got like Super Nintendo World, because both kids are really into Mario right now, and I think they'd really enjoy that a lot. So I'll see if there's any like fun specials that are happening or something. We might do like a little fun trip with them at some point, just for a little day trip or something. And then yeah, we'll see. We know the kids are good in the car now, too. So it's like if we want to do any little mini road trips, we potentially could. I don't know. Do you guys have any fun plans for the summer? I know I have some time to figure things out, but my oldest isn't eligible for summer school this year, since he... I don't know where that trail went. Oh, there it went. Is now mainstreamed in a gen ed class, so like he doesn't have summer school now as an option. But I'm looking at maybe some summer like camps or programs just to give him something to do out of the house, in addition to what we'll try to do as families. I just think that could be fun for him, to have some structured activities and stuff to do too. Not that I want to I'm not going to fill up his summer with that, but just a little bit, a little bit. And then, as far as what I've been reading and watching and listening to, reading wise, I am making a little bit of slow progress because I have been getting more into like other things, like more like watching things, but I have read a little bit more of the second book in the From Blood and Ash series, which is the one I was still, I think, reading. I think that's still the same book that I was on last week. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But it definitely feels like it's pretty much the sort of same vibe as the first book so far. So, you know, I'll put a little disclaimer to proceed with caution as far as like, if there are certain triggers for you, I'd recommend taking a look at maybe what the trigger warnings for those books are. They are kind of like a slightly dark fantasy romance. There is some spice, so if that's a thing, I would just say read a little bit about them before you dive into it. Like, don't dive into it blind, especially if there's like something that you would be worried about potentially. And then as far as, reading, watching, Adam and I have been continuing to work our way through Deep Space Nine and thoroughly enjoying it. But we haven't, I feel like, gotten as much watching done this past week. We're still not done with the show, but we're in the last season. I'm still loving it. I think it's really, really fun, and I'm going to be sad when it's over, but I'm excited to see how it ends. And I don't know if I'll transition to another Star Trek show after or not. I'm not sure. I never finished Voyager. We watched Voyager when I was in college, and I didn't finish it, but we watched a lot of it. And then Adam has had me like watch a few episodes of The Next Generation here and there. And I haven't watched any of the new shows, but he has, so maybe he can give me some pointers. But you guys will have to let me know, you guys here too, like after I finish Deep Space Nine, if you're a Trekkie, what should I potentially move to next, or should I just rewatch Deep Space Nine? I've also been kind of hooked a little bit into, would you call it like the commentary side of YouTube? YouTube promoted this video to me like on my homepage from this account. Is it Jenny Nicholson? But the video, it was like only 4 days old and had like almost 4 million views on it. And it was a 4-hour video that she did that talked about the Star Wars hotel that Disney did and that ended up closing in Florida. The one that was like really expensive and like was really promoting itself heavily as being this really immersive experience. Like, you stayed at this hotel, it was this really structured, you were there for like 2.5 days or something, 2 nights, and it was outrageously expensive. Like, the cheapest packages were still like over, was it $6,000? It was crazy. And she did it, and not as like an influencer package, like she paid to do it. And this was over a year ago at this point, but she then like she documented it and then talked through like her whole experience and all the reasons why she feels like the hotel failed and like kind of deserved to go like out of business for failing, like not because of the cast members at all, but because of sort of what was overpromised and seriously underdelivered. But it was fascinating to me. I was so intrigued because I remember when that hotel opened, and I remember Adam and I talking about it, like, wow, this like sounds really cool, the concept art and sort of what they're promoting it that they want it to be as. But then we were hearing a lot of mixed, not that it was something we were ever going to be able to do ourselves, but you know, we enjoyed Disney things and have had passes to like Disneyland every once in a while. And so we were just interested by the concept, but like from afar. And then when it opened, we heard all these really mixed reviews about it and thought, well, that's not good if you're getting mixed reviews on something that costs this absolutely exorbitant amount of money. But this is, I feel like, I don't know, not that I went out and actively searched for reviews of it, but I just found that this 4-hour video was fascinating. I couldn't put it down. And then I just ended up binging. I'm still in the midst of binging a lot of this creator's other videos, which I find endlessly fascinating. I feel like she's really, really thorough in how she researches and talks about these things. And she's respectful, but she also has this really, I think, good perspective and practical perspective on things. And so that's been really interesting. I'm curious if any of you have had this same video pushed to you recently. But yeah, these kind of like commentary type videos and kind of analyzing things. Like the last one I watched was one that was talking about the Evermore amusement park, and I remembered hearing about this specifically because I remembered hearing about how there was this random little nothing of a park, like this tiny little park that was trying to sue Taylor Swift when Taylor Swift released her album titled Evermore, and this little amusement park that, I mean, I hate to put it this way, but like no one had heard of except for locals and like amusement park junkies, was trying to sue Taylor Swift. I just remembered hearing about that sort of peripherally at the time and just sort of vaguely thinking that seems like a strange choice. But okay. But anyway, this same creator who did this Star Wars hotel deep dive had done one on this this amusement park. And that was fascinating. So I think I just, when I find a creator like that I really enjoy one of their videos, then I tend to be like, oh, let me see anything else they have that I think might be something I'd enjoy. So yeah, I'm in the midst of that current binge at the moment. So that's what I'm watching, lots of YouTube. And then listening to, okay, so it's still Taylor Swift, but you know what's different about this week? I can listen to it in my car, like through my car speakers, because I wasn't able to connect my phone to my old car. I had an adapter that went through my cassette deck, but then the cassette deck broke. I wasn't about to pay to fix a cassette deck in that car, so I just didn't have music for my phone I was able to listen to in my car through the car speakers, which was fine. That's such an incredibly first world type problem. But now, like, I have a car that I can connect my phone to, and I can listen to Taylor Swift on my car like a normal person instead of through my phone speaker, or just, the radio and hoping that one of her singles comes on. I don't know. I can listen to other music besides Taylor Swift, but why would I? I'm kidding, mostly. But yes, that's reading, watching, and listening to. And as far as what videos I have planned for this week, well, I have it all mapped out because I had to plan out my filming. And so I'll have an unboxing for you. I'll have a post review for you, some with the Masters kickoff video, and then there's some others that I'm forgetting. Maybe a progress check-in on this kit. I don't know. We'll see. I want to preserve some surprise, but yeah, hopefully just it's going to be content as usual and you're not going to have anything that's too different than what you usually expect. But you guys, I just have to point out these drills. I can't come too close because of how the focus is set. But these drills are they're obviously from Jaded Gem Shop. They're charted into the kit and they're gold metallics. They're kind of gold copper metallics. They're in like the gold. You can see the sheen a little bit there. The gold accents on the tub. And I love them. They're so good. They're so good. And there's this pink fairy dust, which I was just mentioning it to Jade earlier, that I think this pink fairy dust color actually is too dark. And I know that that's just a thing with special drills, is that you don't necessarily know how the color is going to look on the canvas relative to the other drills, just because of how the programming works and whatnot. And so this is not shade. I know that there are tons of companies that run into this issue, but I think that this pink is just, it reads as darker than I think they probably expected. So this is a pink kind of, it's not fairy dust. That's Diamond Art Club's name for this type of drill. It's glimmer or shimmer or something like that is what Jade calls it for her version. But there's that, and then there's, that was kind of, so the one that's down here is kind of a brown metallic, and then there is a gold metallic that I haven't placed any of yet. But they look good, you guys. So we finished this section, perfect timing. And my thoughts on what I used today. I do really like this tray a lot. I like the closing feature here. Sorry about that. I think it's really nice, and it feels like it's secure and it's convenient. I don't have to worry about drills spilling out, especially given that there are like kind of openings around the edges. I think the only feedback I might give, and I don't know how strongly I even really feel about this, because there's something that is nice about this being open over here. This is the first diamond painting tray I've worked with that has had this style where the lines don't go all the way to the one end. I like there's space here, so there's space for the diamonds to like come down and pour out. I like this. I like the overall feel of the tray. It's very, 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 it feels sturdy, but it's not heavy. I love the colors. I really like a lot about this tray, and I would definitely encourage you guys to go and take a look. They had some different sizes. I unboxed 2 sizes. This one's the jumbo, but I did also unbox the large, which is about the size of a deck of cards, a little bit bigger, but I am a fan. I'm going to put together some thoughts to share with them and just say, like, I don't know if this is something you would want to do, but that's the only thing I noticed is that my drills did kind of want to go off to the side and then down. But if I got used to it, like just a little bit of learning curve, I think it'd be fine. The pen was great, of course. I've worked with these pens before. They're great. And then I really liked the putty was really good to work with today, you guys. I haven't used this putty in a while and I liked it. It was working great for me, and I like the wee wax as well, aside from a little bit of just like extra that was coming off on the drills at the very beginning, but then it was completely fine. And of course the minder was cute too. Anyway, guys, I gotta let you go. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, how about, what should we do? How about a drag? I know we've done this one before, but a dragon emoji in honor of the little dragons that we have hanging out with us today. And also let me know how you are. What were you working on while we chatted today? I would love to hear from you and read your comments. So looking forward to seeing those. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I would absolutely love to have you here. And I appreciate so much that you took some time to watch my WIP and Chat today. I really enjoy checking in with you each Monday. And I hope that you're doing really, really well. Happy Memorial Day to everyone that is celebrating or observing. And I hope you have a day and a week that's as fantastic as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.